Alright, so the recent Steven Universe promo wasn't the only promo to be released pertinent to my interests. There was also a release for a new Transformers series, and yeah, I've talked about the current television Transformers series, or at least the original iteration of it, Cyberverse, and how I think it has potential, but it didn't really look like it was my thing. And I've watched more of it since then, and it's better than I expected it to be, but it still isn't really my thing. Which is fine, it doesn't need to be my thing. Transformers is a very varied franchise. I feel much about Transformers as I do something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Though I don't feel like the Transformers franchise has quite as much room to reinvent it as the TMNT franchise has before in the past. Which is why I really detest the direction that the Transformers movies ended up going in. But that's a whole other story. Point is, there is more than enough room for a cartoon that's more aimed at children in the overall mythos of Transformers. That doesn't mean, though, that I wouldn't prefer something a little more mature. And what we're looking at today is such a thing. And we've known this was coming for a while. The recent Transformers toy line, the War for Cybertron trilogy, just finished its first iteration, Siege. And we did know that that toy line was going to be adapted into a 3-part online series. I don't recall if we always knew that it was a Netflix series, but it's a Netflix series, and it looks pretty freaking good, and we got the first promo for that. And I'm very excited about it. Obviously, I've got a whole bunch of the figures from that War for Cybertron Siege line up there on my shelf. And I don't know, I've been really impressed with the toys. I'm thinking I'm going to be really impressed with this. It looks really good, so let's go through the promo first, real quick.
Cybertron is in ruins. I fear war is lost. Optimus, at this moment we must focus on surviving as a race, not winning a war.
Yet again, the Autobots have escalated this conflict to the point where we must answer their aggression with force. I empower you, Decepticons, to bring this painful chapter of our history to a close.
We are facing extinction at the hands of the Decepticons.
Cybertron needs strength. My strength.
Cybertron needs freedom. We must not allow Megatron to find the Allspark. With it, he will destroy everything we are.
You're fighting to win, and that's gonna get you all killed.
The Autobots fight for the day we no longer have to fight.
This was not the life I imagined for us.
It's a life worth fighting for.
Yeah, so a lot goes on in that trailer, and it's hard to really pin down what's happening sometimes. The Transformers aesthetic is just, it's like that. It looks like, though, first of all, the designs of this are very close to the designs of the toys. It feels a lot like the old Unicron trilogy toys, where they would even incorporate things that were clearly just toy gimmicks into the designs of the CG characters. Thankfully, the War for Cybertron figures don't have big obtrusive gimmicks like those toys did, so that shouldn't be a problem here. The super faithfulness to the toys in the toy line shouldn't be a problem here. And frankly, I mentioned I've been really impressed with the toy line, and I meant that genuinely. It's very inspired by the old Generation 1 cartoon and continuity, to the point that I feel that the Siege toy line, despite the vehicles for these characters in this toy line, their vehicle modes being at least kind of alien looking, since they're still supposed to be on their home planet of Cybertron at this point in the toy line. Despite that, these are the best updated representations of the Generation 1 characters we've gotten ever. Even the old Classics line didn't do it this well. And the second part of the toy line, Earthrise, is going to fix that by giving us some of the same characters over again, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. As well as new characters with their Earth mode vehicle modes. And they just look fantastic. Every single one of them looks fantastic. I don't have any of the Earthrise guys yet, but every single one of them I've seen just looks amazing. And visuals in this look good, so I imagine the Earthrise section of the show will too, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And this, despite being Generation 1 inspired, what excites me about it the most is it looks like it's going to try to do what Transformers Prime's aligned continuity did, and I would say largely failed at doing. It's going to reinvent the original story of Transformers and incorporate into it stuff from every continuity, stuff that has popped up in other places and that people have enjoyed, have found interesting. Like, it looks like there's going to be a genuine romantic component between Optimus Prime and his longtime romantic interest, Elita 1, which, like, we knew that she was his longtime romantic interest in the original show as of her appearance in it, but they didn't really have a relationship because it was an 80s show made for syndication. There wasn't really much episode-to-episode continuity. Here, they have the potential to create an epic, sweeping romance based on some of the stuff from ancillary media. And I'm very excited about that. Alita's always been one of my favorite characters, despite the fact that we haven't gotten a ton of her anywhere, really. It also seems like there's going to be a lot of philosophical discussions in this. Optimus seems like he wants to put an end to the war, regardless of what that means. But at the same time, he sympathizes with his people. And he's going to have to come to the realization that they simply can't win the war as they are now. It looks like the Allspark's going to come into it. The Allspark was something added for the Michael Bayverse movies, which is kind of annoying. I kind of wish they'd dropped that. But as long as it's just used as a standard MacGuffin, I don't think it'll be an issue. Most interestingly, though, and the thing that makes me feel like this is going to be a, like, legitimate and interesting reinvention of the franchise's lore, is the fact that some well-known members of Optimus's army seem to be neutral Autobots in this continuity. Like, as in, they aren't currently fighting for Optimus, and yet they will have to be by the time Earthrise is a thing. And I want to see how that happens. I'm also, seeing the quality of this, very excited for Earthrise, since that's going to be another G1-esque Transformers series set on Earth, showing how the Transformers came to be on Earth, much like the original series did. I'm just very excited for this. The quality looks great. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to talk about it on the channel, obviously, which is why this is here. And I hope showing you guys this and talking about it a little bit has gotten you psyched for when that happens. Is there a date? Do we get a date for it? Yeah, just coming soon. Alright, since this is a Netflix show, I'm actually going to subscribe to Netflix here on YouTube. Hopefully they'll let me know if and when we learn something more about when this show is going to start airing. I don't know how I'm going to cover it yet. It seems like it's going to be kind of serialized, so I probably won't do episode by episode, but I am going to talk about it here on the channel. That's really all I wanted to talk about today in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know, though, of course, if you are excited for the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy of Netflix shows. Now, let's get a discussion going in the comments section down below, or over on my Discord, link in the description. But either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.